Hearing number 8228. This hearing numbered 8228 was continued from the last date of May 7th, 2019, and resumes today, June 11th, 2019, and is being conducted pursuant to Ordinance 68607 of the City of St. Louis. Appellant Thomas E. Archer has appealed the Commissioner of Forestry's decision to service a dead tree at 3440 Halliday. The Board of Public Service has in its possession the following documents, which are being introduced into evidence. Item 1, a certified copy of Ordinance 68607 of the City of St. Louis. Item 2, a copy of the private tree violation notice and accompanying pictures dated January 10, 2019, sent by the Forestry Division regarding a tree of heaven located at 3440 Halliday. Item 3, a copy of the hazard tree appeal submitted by Thomas E. Archer dated March 12, 2019. And item 4, a certified letter sent to appellant Thomas E. Archer dated May 9, 2019, providing notice of today's hearing. At this time, the board will first swear in and hear from the city's representatives present, followed by the appellant and those in support of the appeal. The board will then allow those in opposition to this appeal, if any, to address the board. Your testimony is being recorded. When you come forward, please state your name and address and be sworn in. As you testify, please direct your comments to the board and not to those in the audience. Members of the audience are asked to remain silent and not coach the witnesses. During your testimony, members of this board may have questions for you. Following this hearing, the board will proceed with its regular agenda. Following the conclusion of the regular agenda, the board will deliberate, discuss, and vote on the hearing. The board asks a representative from the Forestry Division, please come forward and be sworn in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Would you state your name for the board, please?
Alan Jankowski.
Commissioner?
So Mr. Thomas Archer notified Jerry Overman, our urban forester, that is in charge of this case, and he notified him that on July 14th of this year, 2019, Ray's Tree Service will come in and remove the dead tree in the rear of the property at 3440 Holiday.
Okay, so the tree's going to be removed per the request. The only question that I have is, do you know by chance whose property did it wind up on? Was it on Mr. Archer's or the neighbor's, or is it just a matter of it's getting resolved?
It's just a matter of it's getting resolved. I don't believe there was any surveys or anything like that.
Okay. Any questions from the board for the commissioner? Seeing none, thank you very much. If there are any other city representatives present which testify, please come forward and be sworn in. Seeing none, the board asks the appellant to please come forward and be sworn in. I'd like to make a note for the record, the appellant is not at today's hearing. If there is anyone else in support of the appeal that wishes to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. Seeing none, if there's anyone in opposition to the appeal that wishes to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. Seeing none, the matter concerning hearing number 8228 is now closed and submitted. The board will now continue with its regular agenda. After the regular agenda, the board will deliberate and vote on the hearing. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Here.
Director Wilson.
Here.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustin.
Here.
Director Eccles.
Here.
Director Edwards.
Here.
And President Bradley.
Here, we have a quorum. I'll call this meeting in order.
An ordinance recommended and approved by the Airport Commission, the Board of Public Service, the Board of Estimate and Apportionment, estimating and establishing and authorizing a multi-year public work and improvement program, the airport projects at St. Louis Lambert International Airport, the airport, which is owned and operated by the City of St. Louis, providing for and consisting of capital improvement projects to and for the terminal complexes, concourses, parking facilities and garages, and associated airport buildings, structures and facilities, roadways, driveways and environs, airport runways, taxiways, aprons, ramps, and associated airport improvements or programs fully described on Exhibit A entitled Project List, etc. Recommends approval. PSA number 1228, Professional Engineering Services for Civil, Structural, Surveying, Geotechnical, Design Services, and Cost Estimating and Drafting Services at St. Louis Lamont International Airport. Emergency action for Tandy and Gamble Recreation Centers, MEP improvements, project number 2018-87-086, St. Louis, Missouri, recommends approval. From the President, Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that VE design for public improvements to include construction of new building, grading, storm sewers, sanitary sewers, and new pavement at 900 South Sarah be approved subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that emergency action for the Compton Hill Water Tower inspection and stabilization be approved. From the Director of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that permit for Ameren, Missouri to encroach with Ameren Electric Facilities at 210 South 16th Street be approved subject to certain conditions. From the Director of Public Utilities and Public Safety, joint recommendation that the following permits be approved subject to certain conditions as follows. The Civil Property LLC to consolidate land at 3714 Holt and 4108 Beck in City Block 5341. Checkpoint Surveying LLC to consolidate land at 3323 and 3327 Iowa and City Block 1514. Recommendation that Maxwell Life LLC to subdivide land at 1027 Geyer and City Block 396 be denied by reason of the fact that it is a violation of Board Order 720. From the Director of Streets, an affidavit of petition number 6864, FOPA Partners to conditionally vacate a section of Spring Avenue beginning at approximately 445 feet south of Forest Park Avenue and continuing southwardly 30 feet to its terminus and Market Street, I-64 in the city of St. Louis. Joint recommendation that the following permits be approved subject to certain conditions as follows. Soulard Gyro and Deli LLC to encroach with Sidewalk Cafe utilizing 75 square feet at 900 Shenandoah. Siren Restaurant to encroach with a Sidewalk Cafe of 6 tables and 24 chairs utilizing 200 square feet at 4658 Gravois. And Young Voices with Action to encroach with 5 feet by 30 feet banner over street between 5920 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive and 5913 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive for 2 weeks prior to event on June 29, 2019. From the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Forestry, recommendation that permit for Les Oler to use a 1/2 inch probe to find the treasure in Forest Park. The area to be probed is very limited in scope. The treasure is approximately 2.5 feet deep and is located in a 2 feet by 3 feet area in a specific flower garden. No flowers or etc. The Park Department does not allow digging or probing in the city of St. Louis Park. Such activity can result in damage or loss to natural areas, highly maintained lawns, historical areas, or irregulated areas. From the Director of Public Safety, recommendation that the following festival zones be approved, subject to certain conditions as follows. St. John United Church of Christ, June 8, 2018, at Peck between Lee and Kossuth. Pride Fest, June 29th through 30th, 2019. Memorial Parks adjacent to Soldiers Memorial, Market Street, Chestnut, Pine, 14th, 13th Festival Site. Parade on Market between 18th and Broadway on June 30th, 2019. Now we have the conditional uses.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and members of the board. My name is Sandra Long, zoning specialist for the city, and I'll be representing the Building Commissioner at today's meeting. Per Board Order 766, transmitted herewith as recommendations for the following conditional use agenda applications. Approval is recommended for one application, 3518 to 20 Laclede. Approval with conditions is recommended for 5 applications, 3245 Texas, 4270 Manchester, 4901 North Union, 711 Soulard, 1721 South 7th Street. Continuation is recommended at the Alderman's request for 6401 West Park. I request that these recommendations be approved as submitted.
Are there any questions on the conditional uses from the board?
I have one on my agenda. There's a number 6401 West Park. Did you call that?
Yeah, the Alderman asked that be continued, so I'm asking you to continue that instead of approve it.
Okay, so we would have to amend.
Any additional questions from the board? Seeing none, I'll take a motion, please.
I move to approve the permits as recommended.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustin.
Aye.
Director Eccles.
Aye.
Director Edwards. And President Bradley.
Aye. Conditional uses are approved. Hearing number 8228 for 3440 Halliday. We heard from the Commissioner of Forestry that the matter will be resolved. The tree will be removed by Ray's Tree Service on July the 14th. So that should resolve the matter at hand. Are there any further questions or comments from the board? Okay. Seeing none, I'll take a motion to deny the appeal, please.
I move to deny the appeal.
Yes.
Second.
Moved and seconded to deny the appeal. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustin.
Aye.
Director Eccles.
Aye.
Director Edwards.
I'm not sure. Are we denying the appeal or we staying the appeal until after this matter, after July 14th? Then it would be moot, I would suspect. I think that may be the right way.
So that point's well taken, that after the tree is removed, we're denying the appeal, but it's the denial is contingent upon the action. That should.
He's the judge.
If any, who made the motion, if you'd like to amend it to stay the appeal, the second.
So let's do that. Let's go ahead and someone make the motion, Director, that this denial of the appeal is contingent upon the removal of the tree on July the 14th.
Can I say what you said?
Yes.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can you call the roll again, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustin.
Aye.
Director Eccles.
Aye.
Director Edwards.
Aye.
And President Bradley.
Aye. The appeal is denied, pending the removal of the tree. I'd like to turn your attention to our meeting minutes from last Tuesday, June 4th, 2019. Are there any questions or comments on the minutes?
I move to approve last week's minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustin.
Aye.
Director Eccles.
Aye.
Director Edwards. Oh, okay. And President Bradley.
Aye. Minutes are approved. Today's agenda, questions or comments on the agenda?
There was a one amendment on the conditional permit for 6401 West Park was continued.
You've noted that.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll take a motion, please.
I move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Scobie.
Aye.
Director Wilson.
Aye.
Director Hayes is excused. Director Augustin.
Aye.
Director Eccles.
Aye.
Director Edwards is excused, and President Bradley.
Aye. The agenda is approved. Motion for adjournment, please.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.